thanks for joining us. We are back here in beautiful Sonoma, California for the Indy Race Weekend. Now, on today's show, we're going to catch up with a charity event called Day at the Races. You are also going to meet some IndyCar legends. But first up, it is Sam Schmidt, a former driver and now team owner who talks about life outside of the car. Was there ever a time you thought, I'm never going to be around racing anymore?
No, not really. I mean, I do have people that ask me, you know, racing puts you in a chair, so why would you want to be around it all the time? And the reality is, for me, you know, it takes 2.5 or 3 hours to get up every morning. You have to find something that you're really passionate about doing to make that whole thing worthwhile. And so for me, it was a no-brainer. I mean, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I had other things to fall back on, but racing was really the only thing that makes it worthwhile.
Said after talking to Johnny and even Mario Andretti, you know, you can just see, and even you can see the passion in your eyes. It's like, this is where you belong.
No, I mean, it's the competitive thing, and it's not for everybody by any means, and certainly sometimes I wake up and I'd rather just stay home and sit by the pool, but this is in my blood. I certainly enjoyed being a driver a whole lot more than being an owner. A lot less responsibility, and you know, this is just kind of, it's the second best thing to win a race as an owner as opposed to a driver.
Well, I have to ask you about that. Now, is there going to be a Sam Schmidt IndyCar driving team coming? Because I noticed that was on the list with Townsend Bell.
Well, we've competed at the Indy 500 every year for the last 9 years, and you know, it's all about sponsorship and funding. Unfortunately, you know, we haven't found the proper amount of funding to move up to IndyCar full time, but we certainly have the personnel, the equipment, everything to do it. You know, should something come knocking. I mean, that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. But I wouldn't want to go to Indy cars and be a mid-packer or a backpacker. I'd want to go to Indy cars and be as competitive as we are in Indy Lights right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because I talked to Graham Rahal about that, because he was looking for a ride for the last year, losing the McDonald's sponsorship, and he explained to me that his dad said, well, I'm only taking you to Indy if you got a shot. So what does it take, besides the money, obviously, to get a really competitive team going?
Well, clearly the drivers, you know, they get all the accolades and the credits for winning races, but I didn't really realize as much as I did until I became an owner that it's the whole package. It's the equipment first and foremost. It's the personnel, running the equipment, setting up the equipment, having the right package. Because, you know, the bottom line is, if the car is not good at 220 miles an hour, it's just not going to handle right. So it's that whole combination of things, and it took me a few years to figure that out as an owner and put the right people in place. But I think we have a really good crew now, and a really good group of people.
Talk a little bit about your Indy Lights team and drivers. So many drivers are coming from Indy Lights now. Well,
it's fun because it's a development series. Getting to work with up-and-coming drivers, you know, same type of channel I took to get to Indy cars, several different countries. It's really challenging. Probably the biggest difficulty in being an Indy Lights team owner is that if we're really good at what we do, we have to do it again and again every year, which is, you know, hopefully they're moving up, and you look around the paddock and my drivers are moving up. We got Alex Lloyd and Jay Howard and Anna Beatriz and all these drivers that drove for us. Now, you know, have good paying gigs over there. So that's really what we're here for. But it also makes it a big challenge to have to do it again every year.
You know, I have to ask you the same question I asked some of the legends and former drivers. Do you see any Indy drivers out there that you think, God, he kind of drives like I used to drive?
Oh, asking, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, when I was driving, I got started a little older. My last name wasn't Andretti or Unser, so I really had to work my way to the top and help with the funding and find the funding and all that stuff. And so I kind of call myself hopefully a little older, wiser, smarter, you know, strategic driver, as opposed to a driver that's just like crazy, you know, crazy fast and occasionally crashes because of it. So if I had to, you know, look at the Indy paddock, I think you know, Dario Scott certainly kind of exemplified the kind of driver I think I was. You know, somebody that thinks about things a lot and hopefully doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
It's kind of hard to believe those guys are like the old guys now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel old, but when I look at the resumes and say, yeah, the kid that's driving this car was born in like 1980 something, it's like I graduated high school then.
Yeah, did you get a driver's license?
Yeah. Is he shaving? So
Exactly.
yeah, it's crazy.
So now, just tell me briefly about your day at the races.
Day at the races stemmed, I mean, clearly when I got out of the hospital, I think like a lot of other people with spinal cord injury, it's like, there should be a direct correlation between your effort and results. And so you work out like a fiend, and we started the foundation, we threw a bunch of money at research, and it's like, why aren't we fixing this problem? And then it hits you that it's a much bigger problem than something that's going to be fixed overnight. It's going to take time, and there's going to have to be a number of positive steps forward before there's even something I can try. So then it's like, okay, understanding that, what can we do for the people that have been injured or are getting injured every day? And so Day at the Races evolved out of that to where everybody was saying, how do you do this and why do you do this? And I think one of the major things that people with disabilities have to do is find a job, get back into society. It doesn't prevent you from being married, having kids, and paying your taxes. And for me, if people have a reason to get up every morning, they're going to be much more prone to staying in shape and not having medical issues and all those types of things. So Day at the Races is really about bringing people out here, showing them that, hey, unless you're on an event, you're not any worse off than me. You can pursue your dreams, you can pursue your passions, you can live a normal life, whether that involves computer science or ping pong or Olympics or whatever. Just go do it. You're not going to do it sitting on your butt at home. So
it's a lot of fun to come out here too.
And a lot of fun for me, and let's face it, racing isn't for some people, so go find what your gig is and just do it. Get out.
Sherman, how did you hear about the Day at the Races event today?
We heard the lady got in contact with us by email from the Bay Area Western Paralyzed Veterans of America, one of the 34 chapters around the United States, including Hawaii. So they contacted us and got some of the guys that got to come down between 8 and 9 from Palo Alto. They're inpatient at the VA on a bus, and then some of the guys around the surrounding areas. So it's fantastic for especially the new injuries from OEF, OIF, and all the rest of the guys to come out. And it's our first time to come here this year. So
You must be a big race fan.
I'm a huge race fan, the Indy cars and also NASCAR. But Indy's is my favorite, and just love it.
And this is the first day that you'll be meeting Sam Schmidt, is that right?
Yes, we're going to be meeting Sam Smith for the first time, and it's so nice, to let us all come out and have fun here and enjoy the day. It's just fantastic.
So, Jessica, just first of all, tell me what you just asked me with this mic phone.
You're the RPV girl, because it's an RPV symbol for sure. It's the waves. Yes.
That's right. Okay, so when did you go to high school there, and where did you go?
Yep. Peninsula High School, class of 2003.
Okay,
So,
very good.
yes.
Family still there?
Yes, family's still there, right on top of the hill. All my friends still there, right on top of the hill.
So now you're working with the Sam Schmidt Motorsports, of course. Now, how often do you get to get home?
A couple weekends a year. That's about it.
That's about it. Okay,
Yeah.
How did you become involved working in racing?
Sam and my dad, actually, Tom, they know each other since as long as I've known, actually. Probably about 10 or 11 years old. They met, and my dad became involved with Sam right before his accident, and Sam had his accident, and I've been involved ever since.
So now, what are your aspirations to do in racing? What are you doing now?
Right now, I just volunteer for the foundation and help out anywhere I can. We sponsor all the cars, and my aspirations actually really don't include racing for the most part. Actually, we have a trucking company that I do all the human resources for, and that's my goal is to actually take that over for my dad one day.
Very nice, very nice. Well, it's nice to have another RPV TV
I know, right?
resident.
This is awesome.
Thank you.